Geno, you said in order to win going in, you guys had great performances from both Aaliyah and from Aubrey. Can you talk about the way Aubrey responded today? I mean, overall, just a strong game for you guys.
Yeah, I thought Aubrey came out really aggressive right from the opening tap, which is something that, you know, we've been talking about. There's been quite a number of games where she starts off very, very slowly and then picks it up as the game goes on. And, you know, I talked to her about we couldn't afford to do that today. Couldn't afford to have her wait till halftime before she changed into another gear. It had to start that way, and, you know, it pretty much did. You know, I thought her ability to get to the basket was really crucial. And, you know, her defense was really good. And I thought Aaliyah's the same thing, their ability to get to the basket. And, you know, we needed those two to score in order for us to have a chance to win the game. And, you know, we probably needed a couple more buckets from a couple other people, but I think those two played about as well as I wanted them to play, for sure.
Geno, you said you were, you know, pleased with the competitiveness of guys, and it was, you know, it was a very different game than when you played them the last time. Just with the rebounding, though, then you look up and you see that, like on the stat sheet, I think they had 25 offensive rebounds. So, I don't know, can you speak to that a little bit, and just the difficulty in keeping a team like them off the offensive boards?
Yeah, it's, I would say, maybe undoable if they're going to play like that. If they're going to play where the focus of their attack is going to be inside every single possession. So unless you have 4 6'5" guys that you can throw out there and just keep rotating them and don't worry about the foul situation, it's maybe for other teams they have a better chance of, you know, but for us, I don't know that we, you know, that we have an answer for it completely. Now, there were 6 or 7 times, and this is a big play, 6 or 7 times we were here, we were in position, here's the ball, here's our hands, and they come up with it and get a bucket. And it's just 4 points, right? And especially if there's a foul. 2, we could have got down that end. 3, they just got here. And that happened 4 or 5 times. So, yeah, they're going to get their share. But you also can't let them have the ones that you have. So that's an issue. And can it get fixed? To a certain degree, but still comes down to you got to score points against them. I mean, even our defense last year, what they scored in the national championship game, 62, 63? Huh? 64 in the national championship game. But we got like 49. So, you know, at least today, I think we put points up on the board, but we just couldn't get stops when we needed them. But it was encouraging that we could score that many points, given how many points we had on the bench.
Was your ability to get to the rim just a byproduct of them pressuring on the perimeter and trying to take the threes away?
Yeah, and that was something that we talked about a lot. And the way the game ideally would be played. I remember we played a game against Tennessee years ago, and we got out-rebounded by 22. I think they had 22 offensive rebounds. And we won by 23 or 24 because we made so many shots that it didn't matter how many offensive rebounds they got because they couldn't convert on all of them. Well, now the double whammy today, they rebounded, they converted on a huge percentage of them, and we didn't get enough shots at the other end. So we needed to trade some of our threes for their twos, and we just couldn't do that today.
Lou had a couple of big buzzer beaters, 19 points. Just what is it about her ability to stay poised that she's able to come up big in these big games, kind of like Tennessee?
Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou got really pissed at one point, and I think maybe that was the spurt that she had. You know, I think she just got really pissed. There was a lot going on out there, and I think she just started being really, really, really much more aggressive, and we started finding her more, you know, before. So one of the points of the game going in was we wanted to play a lot of one-on-one. You know, we wanted Lou to play one-on-one against their guy. We wanted Aubrey to play one-on-one. We wanted Aaliyah to play one-on-one. Even Nika, you know, started the game getting to the lane. So we wanted that to be a big part of our game. But we didn't augment that by making 10 threes. And that was a lot to do to them because they just weren't going to give us those. You know.
Coach, you guys obviously played, you know, Tennessee not too long ago. It was close at times, and then this was obviously another close game. I guess just going against SEC opponents, is there anything, I guess with them specifically, that, you know, kind of makes for such a challenging game, and, you know, just kind of what is it like going against squads from that conference?
I think the difference in styles of play, I think, are what I think is unique about it. You know, I think maybe even within the SEC, they have a different style of play among each other, but you know, there's a certain style of play in the SEC where it is a very post-oriented, pound the ball inside, you know, very physical kind of game. And our team is put together 180 different right now compared to some of the teams in the SEC. And that usually leads for good games. You know, two teams that are very, very, you know, very far apart in their style of play and what they're trying to accomplish, the chess matches that go on, you know. So between the SEC, ACC, you know, we try to get as many games with people who have a different style of play than we do as often as we can, you know. You know, we won our share most of the time, and we lost our share. But you always come out of it knowing that in the NCAA tournament, at some point, you're going to have to beat teams like that, and you don't want it to be the first time you ever played them, you know.
You know, Geno, you guys were down 12 with a little over 2 minutes left. For them to, you know, come together to make that, you know, final push, weren't able to get it done. But just how does that kind of epitomize the, you know, fight this group has shown all year?
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's something that I've seen throughout the year. You know, we were down 15 to Iowa, I think, at one point, out in Oregon. And, you know, we've been, you know, I want them to be unemotional, but yet be emotional. Like, it's not easy to do, right? To be calm and control of the game, and don't let your emotions run crazy, and then you start doing things, just wasting energy, and you get yourself in trouble. So I think even when we got down 12, there was a sense of calmness about us that we're gonna keep getting opportunities here, and we just got to convert. This team has tremendous belief in themselves, and even under the circumstances that they're in, that hasn't wavered. Maybe it's gotten even stronger, you know.
Geno, ideally, how many, on your right, ideally, how many three-pointers are you attempting in a game like that? And did you have a number in mind for how many three-pointers you should need to make to win a game like that?
I thought between Lou, Dorka, if you give Dorka a couple, give Lou 2 or 3, give Aubrey maybe 1 or 2, give Nika maybe 1. Maybe we come out of there somewhere around 10, and that's 30 points, and that might offset how many second chance points they get, So, but I'm surprised we scored that many points with so few threes. How many free throws did we shoot?
Shot 25.
Yeah, we shot 25. Man, we shot a lot of free throws, almost as many as 36. There were a lot of fouls called in that game. A lot of fouls called in that game.
Geno, just housekeeping, nuts and bolts, but is there anything new regarding AZ and Caroline? And then obviously, you've mentioned a lot about the three-pointers. Do you think about, or maybe your players think about, what a different result it could be if you face a team, this team or a team like it, and you've got that little more firepower?
Yeah. I just saw AZ and Paige were standing outside, and I said, Paige, you playing in March? She goes, yep. And I said, how about you, AZ? She goes, a lot sooner than that, hopefully. So, I think AZ was being truthful. Paige was lying her ass off. Caroline, it's progressing to the point where if she can get through a couple practices in a row now in one piece, then either Wednesday or maybe next Saturday at Georgetown could possibly be a return for her. It's all a matter of how she responds after the workouts. During the workouts, it goes pretty good, and then after, sometimes it's not so good, and sometimes it is good, so we're trying to monitor that. And it's really frustrating because you watch her out there, and I mean, her range is even better than it's ever been. Her release is even quicker than it's ever been, and it's just, what are you going to do? You feel sorry for him.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you. Thank you. We will have